Okay, when I'm talking to you guys about why we're doing this hashtag, there's a lot of layers to it, so please know I try to run through some things. When we talk about frequency, we talk about radio frequency, we talk about, you know, a lot of topics. We talk about health and nutrition, a variety of topics. So being in a position to have done some homework, there are several open sources, so you can research these topics on your own free time if you want to verify it for yourself or you want to, because I find these topics really intriguing. So um, the whole tones, why I want to share with you guys why I like whole tones, why I like the fact that the CBD receptors, why people can get, the most for their money in this way. I guess, like, there are things you can do at home to manage your health. Like, you can do things without having to resort to pills. That's really been how people need to get educated about why certain people rely on only medication or other things you can do to get things under control. Like in this case, to me, feet care, medical care, those things it's a form of relaxing. It's a form of just relaxing your body and trying to get into maintaining overall healthy homeostasis. I was a medical assistant. I went to school. I did tons of research on this topic to me because I know all these things are about physical health and mental health and spiritual health, overall wellness. So um, when I look at like overall wellness, I'm thinking of the things that matter, like obviously human interaction. That's a human wellness. Talk therapy, art therapy. These are therapeutic ways to get people to learn how to talk and communicate. Speech therapy, um, OTA, PTA, and our situation, our family's been through a traumatic ordeal. So obviously, when you think on the things of recovery, health, focus yourselves on topics that I know that most of us want to get into a habit of living healthier, more well-balanced lives, and of course the word being equilibrium. So the RX for me is not just blogging. It's about educating somebody. It's about getting informed and using insight, paying attention, reading, studying. Those things will help you evolve into the person you want to be. All these things that we go through in life, they're just, to me, education is what's going to help grow us as people. And people say, well, the education system's bad. And it depends on how you look at it. If you spend more time reading, and the more we get into reading, the more we talk out loud. I mean, I went from not being able to communicate. I lost my ability to speak. I lost my ability to walk. I had no function of my lower and upper extremities at one point. So I have, every day, I work on things at home. And I know I'm working with it at this point, now that I got my medical care thing kind of situated a little bit better. I mean, there are things that I could have done differently in the early back, but I wasn't, truly nobody was prepared for, in my case, meningitis. So um, I try to, keep up with that level of demands. And to me, the whole tones, this, all this, all these things that we work on are only, and believe me, it costs money to go out and buy this. I know that. And to me, I got this for 50 cents. I mean, 50 cents at a thrift store. So there are things in here that you can do. I know a lot of people are focused on self-help. Believe me, it's just to help manage it. A lot of the things we can do to keep our health and maintain a healthy lifestyle is just doing simple things. Like I love this as a medical assistant. These are the things I would look at, like blood pressure issues, trying to stay alert, getting proper rest, getting into a routine is mainly what people need to get focused back on, especially after some of the things some of us have been through. Like just really paying attention to here's one, gassers, flattener lens, beans, cabbage, onions, energy bars, I particularly, sorry, this is my messy desk, but adrenal support, this is fantastic. I talked to a woman in Beaver who, her husband's a state trooper, and he does this every day, 6 drops, 6 pills a day, and amazing results, by the way. Thyroid support for anybody who's ever been exposed to too much radiation, cancer. Colloidal silver is a natural antibiotic. A lot of times what happens is because a lot of people have infections, their immune level is no longer, you can only take so many antibiotics, and I have kids that I work with that love this stuff, so, and droppers, obviously, it gets into your body quicker. CBD oil, I just met somebody up here, about, I think like 2 weeks ago, who told me about the CBD oil. But just getting back to living, getting back into a routine at home, trying to get people engaged, spend time together, focusing on topics. I know a lot of us really need to get into maintaining a healthier lifestyle with our family, because this is really what people are missing, is spending time. It's not being on the internet all the time. In fact, if you unplug from all this, you take in the beauty, like on a day like today, this is the kind of day that we need to be out with our family and sitting down and being a family on us, especially on Sunday. So these are things that I want to help you guys with. Oh, obviously there's a lot here, and of course why we do the Phil Report, and introducing the green room to me is a really exciting way to lighten the conversation up and enjoying not only topics but just enjoying a good conversation, relaxing a little. Alright, so the Children's Gallery. This is part of what we've been doing. It's called hashtag Kids Help Kids. It's archived in Washington, D.C. It was, well, 2 days ago, September 6, 2002, our caseworker had passed away, and she spoke publicly about shaken baby syndrome. So, doing things like this, getting into, again, I told you guys, we're using an old teacher's planner sheet, just kind of things that I've been able to get from people that I've asked, and just of course funny things to do. So going back to what I was saying, wrapping it up here at the Green Room. Thank you guys for listening, and more blog posts coming up. Thank you again, and I don't know if I'll be on YouTube. I am going to be broadcasting live in Appalachia in the Green Room. Thank you for listening.